Hello and welcome. Happy Space Marine birthday, everyone. We're going to look at the Angels of Death Codex supplement. Hope you've got your limited edition Imperial Space Marine at hand. Yeah, so this book, I think it's about £20. You can get it 18 with a discount. It's softback, but I like the kind of non-glossy feel to the book. It is printed in Belmont in the UK, so this is one of the first times I've seen a book that's actually printed in the UK from Games Workshop. Most of the codexes and Forge World books, even the expensive £75 ones or £80 ones, they're printed in China. Quite odd to see one printed in the UK. So this is your codex supplement for the Angels of Death. Doesn't say Space Marines, doesn't say Adeptus Astartes anywhere, but then on the back it does say Space Marines. Gives you a bit of a rundown. Strike Forces, Forces of Space Marines, Psychana Librarius and the Altar of War. So let's have a little look. We'll set you back about 130 odd pages. If you want to be precise, it's 128. Including that cover there. It's a shame it's not hardback. It's still nice, it still feels good, it doesn't feel cheap, and the pages are of a good quality, but I just think if they're charging you £20, it would have been nice to have it in hardback, even if it added £5 just for continuity on your shelf. Maybe you're rich and you have two shelves and you have one shelf for your supplements, one shelf for your actual codexes. Nice little cover there. Got the contents. I'll go through it page by page. This isn't a review. I may do a review at some point. This is more of an overview, first impressions. So if you like Space Marines, stick around. So Strike Forces, guided by the dictates of Codex Astartes and the legacies of their Primarchs. Of course, you don't really have any Primarchs at the moment in 40k. And in 30k, you've got a whole abundance of them. Some nice pictures. Obviously some artwork that's used before. An armory organisation, chapter command, armory command, got tech marines, dreadnoughts, support tanks, siege weapons, land speeders, gunships, land raiders, predators and armoured transports. Then command, you've got masters of the armory, keepers of the forge. Then you've got armoured task force, land raider spearhead, shielding force, airborne strike and flank security. Strike force, hammerfall. Sons of Great Harm. White Scars chapter. Of course, Defenders of Terror. You've got the Imperial Fists chapter organisation. Strike Force Lysander. Black Templars. Scions of Medusa, which is the Iron Hands. Strike Force Grolvok. Warriors of Nocturne, so Salamanders. Strike Force Hestan, Blades of Korax, so Raven Guard, chapter organisation, Strike Force Torovac, and some pictures, and then we're into Forces of the Space Marines. So you've got detachments, formations, psychic powers, warlord traits, chapter relics, tactical objectives, Terminator Captain, Cataphractii Terminators, and Contemptor Dreadnoughts. So straight away we're into the new stuff. So we've got Terminator Captain. You could have this guy, you can have replace Terminator armour with Cataphractii Terminator armour. This has been used for a while, that they're trying to obviously allow you to use your Horus Heresy models in 40k, which is pretty cool. So your Terminator Captain, that'll set you back 120 points. He looks like he's got similar stats to a normal Captain. And then Elites, you've got Cataphractii Terminator Squad, that'll set you back 175 points. Some of them can have Lightning Claws, you pay more for Chain Fist, but of course they've all got the Combi Bolters, which if we go to 57, Combi Bolter is rapid fire twin linked, strength 4 AP 5, but it's basically two bolt guns slaved together, so it's quite nice that it's twin linked. The sergeant can replace his mastercrafted power sword with one of the following. So he's got a mastercrafted power sword as kind of standard. You can have 10 of them in a unit, and they can take this thing called grenade harness, which is strength 3, range 8, assault 2, blast. So they don't suffer the penalty to their initiative for charging enemies through difficult terrain, and then fight at their normal initiative during the combat. So that's pretty cool that you can use them in your army. And also Contemptor Dreadnoughts. One of these will set you 170 points. It's got better stats than a normal Dreadnought. It's got the 4 attacks as well. You can have 3 of them in a unit. They count as heavy support, and you can change his multi-melter, which is the standard loadout. For 15 points you can get a Kiri's pattern assault cannon. On the page opposite is strength 6, range 24, AP 4, heavy 6, rending. You're getting 6 shots there. So it's like an assault cannon, but 2 extra shots. And I think assault cannons have rending. I'm sure they do. And then for all the other kind of items, you can just look in your normal Codex Space Marines, and then obviously for the rules, you've got the Warhammer 40K rules. Automantic Shielding, which is the 5+ invulnerable against shooting attack, 6+ against close combat, and if it explodes, add 1 inch. They're your kind of new units, I suppose, and obviously that came out November. So it's been about 5-6 months, but now you can use them in your standard 40k games. You've got Stormlance Battle Demi Company, you've got Hunting Force, Stormbringer Squadron. That's pretty cool. You got Landspeeders and Scouts, Spear Tip Strike. You got Landspeeders and bikes, Scout bikes or attack bikes. You got a Pinion Battle Demi Company, which has got a lot of different things here. But again, you've got some Scouts. They can lead other units. Shadow Strike Kill Team. They've got some nice on time and on target kind of rules. Bladewing Assault Brotherhood. Skyhammer Orbital Strike Force. 3 tactical squads, and then 1 to 3 units of Landspeeders. Skyhammer Annihilation Force. 2 assault squads, 2 devastator squads. Shadow Force. You've got Captain, Stone Guard, Vanguard, and a unit of Landspeeders. Ravenhawk Assault Squad, Stone Guard, Dreadnought, well any kind of Dreadnought, and a Storm Raven Gunship. Raptor Wing, 1 unit of Landspeeders and 2 Storm Talons. And then some nice pictures. Armoured Might, Anvil Strike Force, allows you to feel the vehicular might of the Space Marines in the Warhammer 40,000 battlefield. I'll need to read up on that, tell you how good it is. I mean, I will be doing a review of this book, definitely. Sons of Great Khan, Scarblade Strike Force, White Scar Special Rules. You've got some relics here for the White Scars. Tactical objectives for them. Sons of Dawn, so you've got Sternhammer Strike Force for the Imperial Fists. And then again, Warlord traits, relics of Phalanx, tactical objectives, Crimson Fists and Black Templars. You've got Warlord traits on both there. And then the Iron Hands, Strike Force, Special Rules, Warlord traits and Gifts of the Gorgon. Iron Hands tactical objectives. Sons of Vulcan, so Salamanders. You've got Flame Blade Strike Force. Their special rules, their relics of Nocturne, and their tactical objectives. And then Sons of Korax, the Talon Strike Force, their special rules and relics of Ravenspire and their tactical objectives. Nice picture there. And then you've got the Psychana Librarius. So it goes on about how they've got all these different disciplines now. I need to read up on that, tell you how good that is. Then you've got the Librarius Discipline, Emperor's Wrath, Strength 5, AP 3, Assault 1, Blast, range 18 inches. And then Technomancy, Fulmination Discipline, Geokinesis Discipline. I think that's all the Psychana. And then you've got the Altar of War. So you've got different missions. Altar of War Hammer Blow, Angels of Death, Here I Shall Die, Slayer of Kings, Emperor's Fist, and Willing Sacrifice. So that's kind of my little overview and things. So just as a quick recap, you've got a load of organisations that cover about half the book almost. Then you've got a few, like 3 new units really, and then you've got a lot of other formations that are quite specific to different chapters. And then you've got again the strike forces, special rules, the relics, and their tactical objectives. So if you have even if you just have a normal Space Marine army really, if you've got a Space Marine army, just a generic one, if you've got White Scars, if you've got Imperial Fists, if you've got Iron Hands, Salamanders, if you've got Raven Guard, and if you've got Black Templars or Crimson Fists. So if you've got any one of those chapters, this really is the book for you, because it's got all your different formations in. It's got your different strike forces and things. It gives you all the specific warlord traits and tactical objectives, things like that. And relics. You've got some new relics. So, and I'll be going through a lot of those in the review, and the review will probably be about half an hour or so, because I'll go really in depth with it. If you've got any one of those Space Marine armies, or even a normal Space Marine army, and you want to use your new Horus Heresy models in it, this is the book for you. I think it's very nice, and it pays tribute to all of the different chapters. A lot of choice in here. Stay tuned for my review coming up hopefully this week, next week. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.